students, Dr. Shell here. I made this video as a way to sort of introduce how this course is going to be laid out. This is a course in business ethics, and I want you to sort of get your minds wrapped around the way this course is structured and laid out. And by the way, there will be a quiz over this video. This will be your first grade in the class that you can take a quiz about the way this course is designed. So I want you to take some notes, pay attention, because I want you to be successful and I want you to do great in this class. So it's really important that sort of see how the course is designed, laid out, what the different components are, and where to find the resources that you need. So look forward to this class together. When you open up the home page, you enter our classroom in our Blackboard shell. On the right-hand side, you'll see course content. It has all the various components that will incorporate our course. And it's really important that we become familiar with how this works, and I want to walk you through each piece so you know what you'll find there and know how to access everything you're going to need to be really successful. So obviously the first thing is it says start here, and I'm hoping that since you're actually watching this video, that means you actually opened it and clicked on start here. In there you're going to find if you need to download a copy of Microsoft Office, that comes included in your tuition. And so if you don't have PowerPoint and Word and those sort of things, you can use that and download those onto your computer. It also has a welcome video. There's a quiz that follows this lecture and reading of the syllabus, and a few other things if you want to find out about me. So this is where we're going to start, and this will be where you'll have your first conversation that we're going to have to begin our course. So that's what's right there in the start here. The next tab down is a link that will connect you with the course syllabus. This has all the sort of legal beagle stuff you need to know and what to do in the event of inclement weather. There's all kinds of stuff that's in the syllabus. You want to make sure you read through that really carefully and become familiar with all the details. Now the assignments and the materials that you need for each module are contained inside those modules. But if you want to get sort of the big picture and see sort of what the course is going to consist of, that's right here in the old syllabus. So you're going to make sure you look at that. I'm going to point out a few things that are really important. Also in the syllabus, you will notice there are a couple of required text and a notice about films that we're going to be watching in during the course. So we have 3 textbooks. Calling It Like I See It is a textbook that I wrote. And it's available through the bookstore. It's an ebook, so you'll purchase it at the bookstore. They alert me that you have purchased the text, and then I send it to you by a link. And then Raisin in the Sun is a little paperback. You can find that in lots of different editions, and it's used, and you can certainly find that. We don't need that till the very end of the semester. And then Sailing True North is a book written by a Navy admiral, which I think you'll find really interesting about leadership. It's, again, available through the bookstore, also available on various forms online. You might be able to find a used copy of it. But those are texts that you will need to be successful in this course. And so you want to move very quickly to secure a copy of those texts so that you can be prepared for the class. Throughout the class, we're going to watch several films. You're responsible to acquire those films. Now, I will include in the assignment a link to a site where you can rent those. Usually on YouTube, there's an option to rent those movies. Now, if you can find them on Netflix or Hulu, if you have a copy sitting on your shelf, you can go to the public library. There's lots of ways to get the film, but you're responsible to secure the film. You just have to think of it as kind of in the cost of the course. So just like buying a textbook, you're going to have to rent or secure a couple of these films. But please don't wait until the night before it's due to go and realize, oh my gosh, it's not free on the internet, or oh my goodness, it's not on Netflix. I don't guarantee you that they are on Netflix. So there are various ways to find them, but you do need to make sure that you have access to those films that are required in the course. So 3 textbooks, a couple of films, and then a variety of links, readings, and videos that I will put in the individual modules for your learning. There you go. So that's what you need to know about that. And you'll find in the syllabus a breakdown of the modules that we will be going through. We have 5 modules and a kickoff kind of pre-module, I guess. And you will see they open on a certain date and they close on a certain date. And then inside each module there are various due dates on when your first impressions are due, and when your upon further reflections are due, when your film studies are due. There'll be due dates for all those things. So this is not one of those online classes where you can work at your own pace and everything has to be turned in by the end of the semester. My experience is that really doesn't work very well. I've had a lot of students kind of paint themselves into a corner and then not be able to finish successfully. So each module opens on a Monday and they all close on a Sunday night, and then there are due dates built inside those modules as well. So this is sort of what the big picture looks like. You have a start here, which is a kickoff to the course. Then you have module 1. We're going to look at is the whole idea of there being business ethics. Is that sort of an oxymoron? Like maybe there really isn't ethics in business at all. It's just make all the money you can. We're going to look at ethical foundations. Then we're going to switch and talk about leadership, particularly in the realm of business leadership and ethical leadership. Then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to break into groups, and you will be functioning as teams, and I'm going to give you ethical dilemmas that you have to respond to as a team. And then last but not least, the final exam is an essay on the novel A Raisin in the Sun, and I'm going to ask you to reflect on that novel from the perspective of ethics, business ethics, as we have worked through for the entire semester. So that's sort of the big picture. If you want to see where the big picture is, and then we'll talk a little bit more about modules here in a few minutes. Okay, buried in the syllabus is a really important date. Now, I don't want any of you to have to drop this course. I'm hoping you're going to stay with me through the end, and we're going to be really successful. You're going to get a great grade. But it does take a lot of work, and life happens sometimes, and occasionally students find themselves in a situation where they have a job change or family change, and they're just not able to do as well as they would like to. So in this course, the last day that you can drop this course is basically after the middle of the term. So that's October the 11th. On October the 11th will be the last time you can withdraw from this course unless you have a documented family emergency or medical emergency. So I usually will touch base with everybody, halfway through the semester. How are you doing? Where are you? And to realize that, whatever got you where you are at halfway, let's finish really strongly. So just want to make sure you're aware of that date. Again, that's an important date to realize, kind of take stock of where we are in the semester. The next 3 elements up are Shells Emporium, Rubrics, and online office hours. And these 3 items are really designed to really help you be successful. And I know a lot of times students, when they take a professor for the first time, they're like, I don't know what the professor wants. And it's even more difficult when it's virtual because you can't read the individual, and we're not really in a room together where you can hear how other people ask questions and all that sort of thing. So I put together 3 different things here. So let me start with Shells Emporium of Philosophical Wonders. What I've done here is basically taken really good student work from the past and put it in this file so you can look at it. So when it comes time for you to do a film study, if you want to see what a great film study looks like, there'll be an example there. If you want to see sort of what a good discussion board post looks like, there'll be one there. And there's lots of other pieces of material in there of what other students have done in the past that I consider to be really good. So that's one way you can sort of look. So if you look at a student's film review and you see that theirs is about 3 to 5 pages, it has a full bibliography, and it has citations, and yours is 1 page, has no citations, then you should have a pretty good idea that yours is very short of what I'm looking for. So that's one way I'm trying to help out for you to answer that question. What is he looking for? There's all kinds of stuff in there if you want to just kind of scroll around in there and see what's in there that might be of use to you. So the next option you have here is a folder which is called Rubrics. And I took a course this summer on how to teach better, and one of the things that I learned a lot about was effective use of rubrics. So I'm in the process of building rubrics for every kind of assignment that we're going to have in this course, and eventually every single rubric will be housed in this folder so you can take a look at them. When I make assignments, if there's a rubric that is applicable, it will be there in Blackboard when you actually open the assignment. And I really want to encourage you to look at the rubric so that you sort of know where you should spend your time and energy. And so again, trying to answer that question, what is the professor looking for? So if you look at the rubrics, you'll get a very good idea of what I'm grading for, what I'm looking for, and you'll have a clear understanding when some points get reduced. You'll say, oh, I guess that's why I didn't have X, Y, or Z. And when you do a great job, you're like, that's because I knocked it out of the ballpark. So you're going to want to really look at the parts of those rubrics that talk about nailed it, got it. Then there's the next one will be sort of like getting there. Then there may be one of like, some things are missing. So you're going to want to look at those ones in the upper level so you know what it is you're searching for. Okay, and then I have online office hours every Monday night at 8 o'clock. I encourage you to join me on Collaborate, and there's a link that right there so you can jump in and have visit me during office hours. Now, I know that Monday night at 8 o'clock isn't work for everybody. If you need a different time, please email me and I'll see about setting up an alternate or an additional office hours. But I will tell you that students that come to my office hours never fail the class and usually do really well, because it's a chance to sort of see each other in real time and for you to ask a question. You don't have to stay for an hour. You can come in, maybe you have one question about an assignment, or maybe you have something about a reading that you didn't quite understand. Jump in the office hours. Oftentimes other students have the same question. We'll talk a little bit. When you've got your question answered, you're welcome to log back off. And some students will stay 30 minutes to an hour. Some students will come in and out for 3 minutes. So, but I want to tell you that it's here so that you can just pop in and ask some questions and get real-time help. One of the things that as a professor that's so heartbreaking is that students will turn in something and get a poor grade, then they will seek help, and then you can say, okay, the next time, here's what I'm looking for. But I'd rather you not get the bad grade to start with. I'd much rather say, let's talk it beforehand so that you know how to knock it out of the park so you're not playing catch up. So those are the couple things that are designed to really help you be successful in this course. Okay, and so as I mentioned that this whole course is designed on a module system. So there are several modules. They open up always on a Monday at 1 minute after midnight, and they close on Sundays at 11:59. and they might be 1 week long, they might be 5, 6 weeks long. So each module is length depends on the material that's included inside it. Once you complete the Start Here activities, then the first module will open. Until you've completed the quiz on the syllabus and this video, then the rest of the module will open to you. The assignments that are built inside Start Here and moving forward. So each module opens, closes, and then the next one becomes available. So let me just walk you through some of the components that you'll see in the modules. Now, each module is a little bit different, but let me just show you some of the things that are always going to be present and then talk a little bit about what might be different. When you open the module, the first thing you're going to see is a module overview. You're going to want to open that. It's going to show you the basic pieces that are required for that module. It will also include a short video introduction by myself to tell you about the topic at hand and get you ready for success. The next thing we have is what I call first impressions. This is using a software called Flipgrid, and it's basically a video discussion board. So I will record myself, and there will be a list of a couple bullet points of things I want you to talk about. So you will videotape yourself. They have to be short. I think 2 minutes is the longest they can go. And then you need to reply to 3 other students, listen to their post, and then reply to them. And so these are graded, but the most important thing about it to me is that this is your first impression. I'm assuming that you haven't really thought deeply about this topic. You're not supposed to have done any reading in advance. I'm just trying to say, okay, where are we starting at? So look at the bullet points. Make sure that you have those in front of you so that when you make your video, you've got a chance to make sure you cover all the points that are in that discussion. And then make replies to fellow students. Remember, this is a college level course, and especially one that connects to business. So you want to make sure that your videos are that you present yourself professionally, give some attention to what's in the background. Make sure that you're dressed for success. If there's other people in your home, you might want to give them the heads up that, hey, I'm making a video here. So just do your best to sort of present yourself in a strong light as you give your first impressions, and then follow up to fellow students. Again, these are not designed to sort of be purely social media shout outs, so don't just say, hey, nice job. Ask, react. What was it that they said that you connected with? In what ways might you disagree? You can do it respectfully, and this is a good place for us also to see each other, so you feel like you're actually in a class with real people, and not sort of these amorphous beings that just type words on a screen. Then there'll be a section which is called Learn About This, meaning learn about the topic. In this case, the question is business ethics an oxymoron? And so in this, there will be most likely a lecture by myself that you'll want to make sure you listen to. There'll be links to other YouTube videos and other recorded materials. Then there will be additional reading materials. And besides our course books, there'll be links to additional articles that you're going to need to read. So you're going to read that material before you move any further into the assignments in the course, because from that point on, the assignments are going to assume that you have read and learned the material in the Learn About This section. So the next thing up you see here is one. It's called Upon Further Reflection. Now this is a more traditional discussion essay. So you're going to, again, there'll be some prompts. You're going to read through those prompts, react and interact with our course material, answer those questions, and you're going to post an essay length discussion, and then oftentimes you're going to reply to 1 or 2 students. Make sure you read the criteria. Make sure you look at the rubric. On these discussion essays, I am looking for that you cite the material. You're going to include a little bibliography at the end of materials that you worked through. These are essays. These are not sort of just like social media shout outs. So these are going to take a little time, and I'm really looking that you're interacting with the course material, the lectures, the readings that are in the Learn About This section of the module. Now, some of the modules will include exams. I'm not a big fan of exams. The one module that has to do with ethical foundations does have 5 short exams on the 5 chapters of the book, because you've got to really have all of that material in hand to really be successful in the rest of the course. So there could be some exams. The other thing you'll see here would be these film essays, film reflections. So at that point, again, you'll look at the rubrics. I will create a separate video about those. But to give you an idea of what that will look like is you're going to watch the film, take good notes as you're watching the film. Then you're going to write an essay looking at the film in light of the materials we've been discussing in the class. So it's not a film review. I don't want you to tell me, spend a lot of time about the plot and the setting, and because I've watched the movies. What I'm really looking for is that you interact with the movie and the course material and that we've been working through. So more on that later, but just to give you an idea of sort of, you open the module, you're going to have first impressions, then there's the material that you're going to learn, and then you're going to reflect on what you've learned in a couple different ways. Reflection essays, exams, film studies, and the like. So that's just a general overview of what this all looks like. All right, so here I am in my little virtual office, and I look forward to you visiting me in virtual office hours, following up on questions that you might have. This video is really designed to sort of help you be able to navigate the course effectively from the very beginning. And so make sure that you take this notes and look over the syllabus and take the course orientation exam. You have to pass. You have to get 100% actually before you can move on to the rest of the modules and the rest of the course. It's not terribly difficult, but I need to make sure that you have all the facts in place before you start working. So I look forward to this great semester. Business ethics is really needed these days, and having the desire to be an ethical leader. If you're taking this course in business ethics, I have to assume that you don't want to work on an hourly wage for the rest of your life. And that means you're going to want to move up into business and up into leadership and into places of responsibility. Probably nobody in this class is going to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. But everybody in this class, at some point in your career, is going to be responsible for other people. You're going to make decisions that are going to have an effect on people's lives, their livelihoods, and our communities. And so being able to sort of work at those decisions in a logical, rational way, backed up with good, solid reasons, and then being able to weigh those decisions on the ethical and moral implications is really a profound need in our society. And I'm looking forward to you becoming one of those people. So I appreciate your time, and this is Dr. Shells sauntering on.